I would like to talk about destroying things. Now, before I start, the usual disclaimers apply. I know nothing. This whole thing is bullshit. Don't worry about it. If anything, let it inspire you to start thinking for yourself and not to come up with the things I came up with, but to come up with the things you come up with. What I say could be used as somewhere to look, it could be used as something to think about, but only to see what you think about it for yourself. I don't know anything. I can't do anything for you. There's just nothing here, really. And if it's the second or the third video you're watching, please stop. Think about the other video. Stop putting new shit into your brain. If you're turning into a consumer, it's not going to help you. And I think that is a nice segue to the subject of this video, because I thought a lot about making videos where I take something that has been very useful for me in the past and destroy it for you to show you how this thing works. Now, on the one hand, to destroy the thing itself could be useful so that you don't get stuck on that thing. On the other hand, I think even more importantly, the process of doing that is something you need to see. But before I go and take single things and try to destroy them, which is all bullshit, let's be honest here, I can't destroy anything, I'm just talking. But before I do that, I want to really make clear why it is that I'm doing that, and also address how this works for me. Because I'm not out to destroy anyone who doesn't want to destroy himself. Do you understand? I can't destroy you, but I'm happy to offer you something to destroy yourself with if you are at the point that it's something you are open to. Right? In order to be recreating yourself deliberately anew, you need to destroy this habit of yours, which you think you are. And what happens in this culture, especially in the culture where knowledge and knowing and understanding and logic is such a big part of what we're doing, right? We live in the technological age, so logic and science and how things work have become the centerpiece of our society, right? It is very important to understand that logic is in fact very one-sided, and that the things that we hold up as our greatest achievements, the best books, the most insightful things, or whatever, are in fact have become our masters that we serve without realizing what's going on. Now, what I destroy, for me, are of course things that have great meaning for me. So, it is by that functioning, by that mechanism, that the things that I destroy are naturally most dear to myself. And of course, this all comes from this internal drive to destroy myself. So I have to build myself up in order to think that I'm something, and then be completely disgusted with my own hypocrisy, because we live in a hypocrisy whether we want to or not, and then destroy that. But it isn't really myself I have the balls to destroy. So I must take the thing that I use to build myself up and destroy that. Now, some people can spend their lives holding on to books, beliefs, other people, and never get anywhere for themselves. Which, if they find that enjoyable, which apparently they do, they must just go on and do that. But for the one who is seeking, there is a different way. Of course, the one who is seeking for the new guy, is seeking for the new book, is seeking for the new thing that he thinks will give him something he is now lacking. Right? This is the culture. Authority is outside of you and must be found outside of you. This in itself is a search that will never end. And as YouTube is becoming bigger and bigger, and is already huge. And as book writing and publishing is becoming bigger and bigger and easier for someone to be a participant in on the author side, this problem is only increasing. Now the beauty of this functioning is that the bigger the problem is, the easier it is to recognize it, so people will start looking through it. And hopefully that will give them a new perspective on what it is that you can seek and where you must seek it. But it's important for me to make clear that if I take a subject and destroy it, it is always because it has done me a lot of good. Right? Walt Whitman says, "He most honors my style that studies under it to destroy it." And that is a very wise sentence. That is the essence of this whole thing. For the student to become the master, he must destroy his masters, because otherwise they will be in the way. For the Christian to become like Jesus, they must destroy Jesus. As of course they have, but not in the way that he wanted. Like I know what he wanted. Anyway, let's not go there in this video. So, I want to set out and destroy books and ideas, and it might seem like I have something against the authors, or that I even might suppose that what I'm destroying is something that the author thinks is true, right? Here I have a book. It's written 10 years ago. And look at what this guy was thinking. How one-sided of him, right? Now I'm supreme to this person, and I can move on, which is good in its function. But don't mistake that for reality. Do not mistake that for truth. You do not know where this person is. You don't know what he's thinking right now. And more importantly, it is of no consequence to you. Because you're not battling him. You're not battling his product. You're not battling his book. You're battling yourself. But to externalize it makes it possible to do so. You cannot go inside and grab your heart and hold it still and make it stop beating. But you can think about ideas and the people that put them there and destroy them. Of course, you are building yourself up through these ideas, so you're really destroying yourself, but in this way, it's a process that is manageable. But I'm not going to talk about people and ideas that I think hold no merit. I'm not going to talk about some guy I think is a lunatic. Why would I destroy the lunatic? He destroys himself. So for me to destroy anything or anyone, it is because I must have thought for a long time that there's something there. There was something there. So by destroying, I'm really respecting them. Do you understand? And I'm not trying to free myself of any, how do I say this? Any blame or people saying, how can you destroy this idea? Or how can you destroy this concept? This man is a great man, blah, 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 blah. Because my response would be, I think you need to take a look at yourself and why you want to hold on to this external person and what are you protecting? Because if my assumption that we're all in it for ourselves is correct, then you're not protecting this man, you're protecting yourself and you're using him to protect you. And why? Why are you doing this? Do you want to hold him still? Should he not move anymore because he has written the book and for the rest of his life he should sing his popular song until he himself hates it? Is that what you're saying? Because that doesn't sound like respect to me at all. Life is a movement, so you should allow life to move. And this is also why I am very hesitant to put anything in writing, even though I've come to a point where I think there are things I could say that will remain standing for at least as long as I'm around. But maybe I'm wrong. I love to be wrong. We'll see how it goes. Let's see if I can accept this video in a while. So, when I destroy things, I also destroy myself. I would even say that this is the true propulsion behind the destroying, and it's been the most efficient way for me to move forward. Once I saw that I was the biggest hypocrite, things started exponentially, how do you say this? Accelerating, right? It's easy to look at others and say, well, you are misguided and you're trying to misguide me. But to understand yourself to be exactly so, that is very useful. Now, a thing I also want to mention in this process is that I've talked about con men before, and I do not mind the honest con man, the one who is selling you something he doesn't have or what isn't as he claims it to be in order to get your money, because he's a very honest con man, right? He's very open and deliberate in what he is doing. He's not fooling himself, he's only fooling you, and that's his job as a con man. It is the insidious con man who has conned himself that has become somewhat of a target for my assault, way more than the honest con man. You see, it's the do-gooders that cause the real harm. It's the people that, thinking that they know something and wanting to help you by giving it to you, are the ones that cause the real trouble. Because on the one hand, they have the content of what we're saying, and we could deal with that. We could look at that, and we could say, well, this and that is going on, and this is why he's correct, and this is why he's incorrect. We have the internet. We have 7 billion people to give their perspective on it, so it will be destroyed. Because he cannot outthink 7 billion people, right? Especially if he doesn't understand, which in most cases he doesn't. But the thing that makes it difficult for us, being the empathic, is that a word? Empathy-driven beings that we are, is that because someone has the right intention to want to help, and with us not realizing he's really trying to help himself there, it becomes confusing. It becomes, ooh. Do you understand? Who wouldn't understand? Ooh. Right? If someone is offering you some help, and you can see in his eyes that he really wants to help you, it is way more difficult to decline it, right? If someone's offering up himself as saying, I have this for you and it took me so long to find it. It is my beautiful self that I've shaped and I've molded over all these years and I want you to have it. It is way more difficult than some arrogant asshole like perhaps myself that is saying, here, this I was useful to me, you take it, I'm done with it. Because then you're like, well, why are you going to give it to me then? Right? And this is the problem. We live in a world where knowledge is a thing. And so people who think they have found some knowledge and now offer it up in the spirit of sharing are the biggest problem of all. It's the moral men that cause all the moral problems. You see, if I'm correct in saying that everyone is completely and truly selfish, narcissistic, and self-serving, then you should wonder why someone is writing a book. What is it that he wants to do there? I have a theory. If you would let me, I would like to share it with you. Here's the thing. Excitement is what we are. There's either non-excitement or excitement. And we aren't as much excitement as we are the movement between non-excited and excited. Two states, and we are the movement, right? The only state is the stateless, and stateless is our only state. Now, in order to be excited, there must be something that propels the movement between the non-excited and the excited. We have a mind and a body, and they facilitate this process because the mind thinks things that makes the body feel things that makes the mind think things, and thus we have movement. We have rightness and wrongness. We have good feelings and bad feelings. We have I like this. We have I don't like this. We can feel truth, but we can never speak it. So whatever we say makes us a liar. That makes us feel like we need to say more. which keeps this whole thing going forever and ever. Amen. The thing is, when you live in a culture where knowledge has been taken for the thing that matters most, especially since media have become such a thing, and not the media that I like to think of as the context of processing input into output, but more media as in movies, books, and all these things, where we have to take specific ideas, specific experience, and turn them into general ideas, and then say that this is true, like science, where we take external knowledge or external experience and turn it into general rule of law. If you live in such a world, it is very natural for you to be excited about the ideas that you have, right? If I listen to smart people, I start getting smart ideas. And I might even assimilate them in the way that I might end up thinking that I'm the one having the good ideas, right? I read 3 books, I resample in my head, and I expand on them, as we like to say. And then I start talking crap and say, well, this is my crap. I thought of this crap. This bullshit that I'm telling you, it's my bullshit. It's not just their bullshit reshuffled. No. What they didn't see, I'm seeing. What they didn't understand, I'm understanding. And so I will write a book because I'm so very excited, right? I have an idea and it's mine, it's unique. I need to share this with this world because I need to be confirmed that it is in fact unique. That it is in fact, can you tell how excited I am, by the way? It's just that little sip of coffee too much. And I like this subject, so forgive me. I will try to slow down. So I don't do this for me, but I do. Alright, I have an idea. I have this insight into destroying things that I want to share with you. And now I get all excited because I know it's a good idea. I know it's very useful. But who is it useful for? And why is it useful to share it? Well, because I'm filled with excitement and I need to get rid of that excitement because this excitement cannot last. In a way, it's making me very uncomfortable. So what I can do is take this excitement and express it. And by expressing it, I'm infusing it with all this excitement that is within me. All this uncertainty that I have, because excitement is the movement between certainty and uncertainty. I'm very excited. I have a great idea. It will be so useful for you. But it cannot be useful for you. Because if you understand what I'm saying already, then there's nothing there. So my excitement was fun for me, but the concept or the insight I'm offering is general, and as you make it specific to you, you realize, I already knew this thing. This isn't special at all. Or it is a new idea to you. It is a foreign thought. It is a not you idea. So now you are confronted. Now there's this idea that I'm throwing out of me to get rid of my excitement, and it's getting you all excited because you were living in certainty, and now I've contrasted that with uncertainty and you're moving between it. There's excitement, right? You're thinking, holy shit, I thought I knew, but this motherfucker's saying things maybe I don't know. What's going on here? I'm confused. Right? Confusion is the first step to inspiration. But confusion isn't necessarily a very nice feeling. In fact, it's a very unnice feeling. And that's why it leads to inspiration. Because it causes you to say, this cannot be. I will not tolerate this. I will not stand for this uncertainty. I must have certainty again. Thus the whole human problem and drama is created. We cannot deal with uncertainty. Hence, we can never stop. Because we live in a world of uncertainty. Not just a world, we live in a context that can never be explained. This is the essence of the whole thing, by the way. Because you lack the means to take this to an end, to take this to a logical conclusion, you will never have non-excitement in your life. And the only way you will quit is if you wear out. If the body cannot take it anymore, if the body has been so excited, it cannot take more of that excitement, you will stop. And if anything of advice I can give you is to try and kill yourself, not in the body, but the idea of yourself before you die, because then it becomes really interesting. So back to the thing. I was excited. I had this idea. I was going to share it with you, and I am. You didn't know it already, so there's something outside of you that tells you there's something there, but you do not fully understand it. So now you have to engage with it, which makes you very uncomfortable, because uncertainty has just entered into your life, where you are seeking the certainty. I am. I exist. I know. Right? I feel great. What is this? What is this bullshit this guy is saying? It's making me uncertain. I must either destroy him, or I must destroy the thing that he's offering. And the destroying can be either done by making it completely useless or wrong, or it could be by making it part of me, assimilating with it. Because then I can say, yes, at first it was very surprising that he said it, but now I understand, and of course it makes perfect sense. Right? Laughter is such a thing where you quickly get shown this different perspective, where you realize you were wrong all along about this obvious thing, and it makes you laugh at yourself. How could I have not seen? Oh my God, this is so... And you laugh and you release this tension, this excitement. You release it instantly. Ha 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 ha. I'm such a fool. And you move on. It's very nice. So again, coming back to this situation where I'm offering you up this book or this video or this idea. What I've done, in essence, is transfer my excitement to you. I was uncertain. I had an idea. It made me feel certain, but then I was uncertain if that certainty was actual something I could get away with. So I'm offering you this idea, and if it makes you uncertain and say, wow, that's such a great idea, then I can feel certain that I was in fact correctly certain. Do you understand? It's just certain and uncertain on the next level. First, I didn't know, now I know, but I don't know if I really know, so I give it to you, and then you confirm that I in fact knew. So now I know that I know, and we can play this game for a long time. So what happens is that someone who offers you his knowledge or his insight is really giving you a new problem. And the problem, as I see it in our society, is that we have dealt with that by externalizing this person to be different than us. So we are saying, this guy is an authority on this. Of course he knows things I do not know. Which makes us not deal with it in the sense that we become angry and say, how come you think you know something I don't? I'm a person just like you. I could know whatever you know. I could see whatever you see. I will fight with you. I will fight with your idea just as long as it takes until I get to a point where I see it for myself and I can call it my own. We don't do that. Well, at least not as much as we should. So we say, well, this person is obviously a genius. This person obviously knows things I don't. So I can put him on a pedestal and say, I'm done. I don't have to deal with him. He's a genius. I'm not a genius. You know, I'm awesome, of course, and I'm happy that I'm not him, because being a genius, you must be half crazy. So I like being normal me. So I am in fact smarter than he is, because I don't need to be a genius to be really smart. Right? This is all these techniques we have of fooling ourselves and making acceptable any situation. And our jealousy is quickly turned into arrogance by saying, I don't want to have 5 Lamborghinis. Do you know how much time it would take to clean those? Do you know how much risk you would have by having 5 Lamborghinis, or whatever they're called, right? So we play with this thing. And so we must play with the videos and the people that create them by saying they are different. Now, I think that is not the way to deal with them at all. I think you must destroy both their products and them, because they are in the way. And the only way you will ever move forward is if you can kill them, stand on their corpses and move on. And again, this is not meant for you to go out and kill people with sharp things, because they do not need to die in reality. They just need to be dealt with within you. So I will try and do that with some people and some of their products that have been very inspirational to me, that have confused me greatly and have occupied my thoughts for a long time. And so I will not destroy them because I hate them. I will not destroy them because I think they have no function. But I will destroy them because I want to show you, first of all, that their products are something that you can in fact deal with, not just admire. And secondly, because this process is very important for you. And I would grant you nothing but the ability to deal with everyone in that way. To destroy every product anyone creates. But as I mentioned in an earlier video, to create a product is to be one-sided. And if you are one-sided, you are incorrect. That's why I keep emphasizing that whatever I say is bullshit. Not only is it specific to me, so it has no function to you, it's also by its very nature pointed in a universe that is without point. It would take the universe and forever for me to explain things in a way that would be correct. And of course, by that time, who knows where we would be. So, this whole thing has a function. I hope it's enjoyable or it's something that can be useful. And I hope you understand that it means no harm to the products or the people that are involved. It is in fact a way of showing respect. Alright, thank you again and good luck with all of this.